Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We got to add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been
Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your weekly morning show where we bring you the latest and everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's episode, we've got a very exciting update coming from none other than former President Donald Trump. You see, Donald Trump recently made an announcement that he wants to see all future Bitcoin to be made in the USA. How would that seem? All of your Bitcoins that are still being mined, you look at them and you say, aha, made in America. That's how Donald Trump thinks it works, I guess. It's a little bit like how they make these little fish, right? No. Here's the deal. Donald Trump wants all remaining Bitcoin to be mined in the United States of America because he wants to weaponize Bitcoin against the potential of a United States central bank digital currency. And it is also becoming increasingly clear, if it wasn't already, that Donald Trump is using the cryptocurrency topic to absolutely declare all-out, full frontal war on President Joe Biden here in the 2024 election cycle. Like him or hate him, the guy has obviously been driving a lot of green into the cryptocurrency space over the last 24 hours. I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like right now. I'm going to plug my headphones in real quick because right now they're not doing anything and I can't hear myself. And when you're on radio, it's helpful to be able to hear yourself. So let's go ahead and... There we go. Check. Oh, so much better. I can actually hear myself. All right, let's do this. Let's read some chat. We've got a lot covered today. If you were tuning in for the first time, welcome to the stream. Let us know in chat. Is this your first time here with Coffee and Crypto? Guys, this show's been going for, oh gosh, it's probably been almost 4 years now. We've been bringing you guys daily updates. Very, very excited to be sharing everything with you guys. Let us know if you were new here. Let us know if you're from some of the videos we've been uploading. Really appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. We're going to read some chat. Then we're going to jump straight on into the news. Joe Bollier is in chat, said, good morning, Jeb. Chris SF said, right now. Indeed. Even is in chat. Todd B is in chat. Soju Bean is in chat. Dennis is in chat. Al Bundles, Crypto Trappa's in chat. Julie, Charlie Wiss, A Philosophy of Hustle the Dawn is in chat. There you go. That's pretty cool. Fury Inferno's in chat. Said, hello, everyone. Let's flip and go. Marcus is in chat. One House Production said, yeah. Good thoughts for you and the family. Shout out to everybody who is in chat. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let's see. Yeah. Let's do it. As I said, we got a lot to talk about. We're going to start off over on Forbes. Trump says all, and I quote, all Bitcoin should be mined in the United States in his latest embrace of cryptocurrency. I'm going to show you how this is what moved the price of Bitcoin. Because yesterday we uploaded a video titled that Bitcoin is going to go down, that Bitcoin could crash down to a price of 6x XXX. So I showed you kind of a price that it could potentially drop all the way down towards. We did not drop down to that level, and the main reason for that is because, well, Donald Trump came out and made these announcements about what he thinks. We made this video, Bitcoin crashing too, and I showed you the price target of where Bitcoin was probably going to go, and I talked about how will it recover. Well, we didn't go down to that level, and if you're wondering why we didn't go down to that level, in that video we were talking about $64,360. The reason is because of this news. Taking a look here at the chart, you can see about 4 hours ago, at about 6:30 in the morning, Bitcoin began a huge rally. Actually, it ended up really starting the rally right here around 5:30, and then around 8:30 is when we really took off. And the reason that this happened was because of this news story, as far as we can tell. Forbes dropped this story at 6:31 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, just a little while after Bitcoin began its major rally. So this rally does seem to have to do with the big man himself, Donald Trump. So Presumptive 2024 Republican nominee Donald Trump on Wednesday said he wants all remaining Bitcoin to be mined in the United States, weaponizing cryptocurrency as a fresh line of attack against President Joe Biden as the former president further embraces the digital sector after years of skepticism. Trump has realized as a populist that if he goes after the cryptocurrency community, he is going to be able to, one, redefine a generation of political thought, because he's going to be able to lead a huge number of people, one, that are following him in the direction of following crypto, and two, a large number of people that are following crypto in the direction of following him. Right? It goes both ways. And so by connecting those two communities, he intends to expand his voter base, and also once and for all beat the Democrats and, point and try and lead cryptocurrency to being in a conservative position. Now, whether that's going to happen or not, we shall see. But this is definitely going to help him in the polls. No doubt about it. There are tens of millions of people that are investors in the cryptocurrency space that have been completely and totally disenfranchised by the government. The government has completely left us behind. We have not had clear regulation for a decade of needing it. And so we've been pushing for this for a long time. Donald Trump seems to be the one that's going to scoop in and just, pick up all the political candy of being the one to actually support the cryptocurrency space. Again, like him or hate him, don't care about what you think about him. Here's the deal. This is good for crypto. This is going to lead millions of people that might have been on the fence to follow their fake messiah, Donald Trump, into following into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Donald Trump is far from perfect. I definitely disagree with him on the way that he handles a lot of things. But what I will tell you is that this is good for crypto, that he is on the side of Bitcoin. We want all remaining Bitcoin to be made in the USA, Trump said in a late night post on his social media platform, Truth Social. Trump warned Bitcoin, which is obtained through a computational process known as mining — you can tell Forbes is writing this to the lay person, not to the actual cryptocurrency enthusiast — may be our last line of defense against a central bank digital currency, which is an interesting statement because there's already been a law passed that the Fed is going to be banned from creating a CBDC, but I suppose Donald Trump is trying to ensure that stays the case. Here's the other thing. Where the Bitcoin was made does not matter. I just want to get into the jargon here. Whether you're insanely pro-Trump, insanely anti-Trump, I'm not trying to get in the middle of this and tell you who I support. What I do want you to understand is that Donald Trump is trying to make a political statement here. Where the Bitcoin is mined does not make a difference to the price of the said Bitcoin. At all. At all. It doesn't work that way. We want all remaining Bitcoin to be made in the USA is also something that's not possible because there are going to be miners throughout the rest of the world. But on the other hand, what he seems to be saying here is that he's going to try and expand the mining in the United States by a lot. If he believes that it's going to be all, keyword all, that's what he said, all, to be made in the United States. So we could expect the mining sector to be growing quite substantially, maybe even under some government subsidies, if Donald Trump is elected. And he's banking on that because, again, he wants the cryptocurrency vote, which for the first time in political history now is a large enough voting block to be considered. I believe we will probably be talking about this at the debates. It's become a really big issue for Donald Trump, so we're going to be paying close attention to what he says. The ex-president has previously railed against the notion of a so-called digital dollar issued by the Federal Reserve, which the central bank has explored but not expressed a stance on either way, branding it as a dangerous threat to freedom. I would agree. And vowing to block its creation if reelected. Mining remaining Bitcoin in the U.S. will also help the country to be energy dominant, Trump said in block capitals, though it is unclear what the former president meant by given that Bitcoin consumes energy. Right. He said Biden's hatred of Bitcoin only serves to help the U.S. enemies like China and Russia, as well as the radical communist left. And so you can see what's going on here. Talking about politics for a second, then we'll get back into crypto. You can see what he's doing here. He's trying to flip the script. He's trying to say, everybody went after me for Russia. I'm going to say it's them. They're the communists. They're the ones helping China. They're the ones helping Russia. They're trying to, it's political football, right? Oh, you're the communist. No, you're the communist. No, you're the communist. No, you're the communist. Who remembers that? Who is the guy? We learned about this in history class. He was the guy, man, I'm forgetting the name. Oh my gosh, my history's slipping. I got to go back and do my study. I love history. Okay, someone will have to remind me in the comments, but there was a guy, and there was like an era of this in the 50s in the United States where he would basically label everybody a communist. And so that's what's going on, is he's trying to say, they're supporting China, they're supporting Russia, not me, no. So whatever, you can get in the middle of it however you want, but here's the deal. He's saying, look, Bitcoin, I'm taking a stance on it. You can take a stance on it if you want, but I came here first, so screw you. I'm the one that's going to be pushing this. And so that's going to likely be helping him in the polls. I really do think that's going to help him in the polls. And it also helped Bitcoin because just about an hour after that news story broke, instead of Bitcoin trading down here near its support around McCarthyism. Thank you, Eye of the Beholder. McCarthyism. McCarthy, thank you. I knew his name. I knew somebody would say it, and I'd remember. McCarthyism. Look it up. It was an era in American politics during the Cold War. I believe it was in the 50s, right after the rise of the Soviet Union. You know, everybody was pointing bombs at each other. Communist, communist, communist. It lasted for about 30 years. It started with McCarthy. But after we saw this news drop, Bitcoin rallied $2,237. And this just goes to show you how there is a symbiotic relationship at this current time between Donald Trump and between the Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market. And the reason that there is that symbiotic relationship is because we are seeing the Bitcoin market rally when Donald Trump talks about Bitcoin, especially when he talks about it in the positive and in the affirmative. And we're also seeing, probably, we don't know for sure, but people that were on the fence are probably going to vote for Donald Trump because they realize, oh, wait a second, we're finally having somebody who's like really pro-Bitcoin. It's not just, oh, it's a footer. Yeah, I have a stance on this. Yeah, I got to cover it up. Yeah, I've got a stance on endangered sea turtles. Yeah, I've got a stance on underwater basket weaving student loan forgiveness. Yeah, I've got a stance on colonies on the ant colonies on the far side of the moon. Yeah, I've got a stance on that. No, Donald Trump is taking, like, this is one of his primary stances. And so again, he's going to end up getting a lot of support because of that. So let's talk a little bit about how that has impacted the charts. But before we do, I want to let you guys know about one of our sponsors, and they are none other than NordVPN. If you have not already signed up for NordVPN, then you are browsing the internet unprotected. Here's the deal. People that are hackers and thieves and the evil people of this day are trying to steal from you. The way that Donald Trump would say this, as Master of Parsnip said, is they're trying to steal from you bigly. See, they're trying to steal from you. They want to steal your wealth. They want to steal your Bitcoin. They want to steal your cryptocurrency. Not only that, the banks and the governments of the world want to tell you where you can and cannot go online. And the best way to get around that, the hackers, the thieves, and the authoritarian totalitarians, that's a mouthful, is to sign up for NordVPN. They are the largest and the highest rated VPN in the entire world. When you sign up for NordVPN, you are joining a community that is over 15 years old that has been protecting themselves for over a decade. From hackers, thieves, spyware, malware, keyloggers, anything that you can think of. By having NordVPN on, you are going to get yourself protected. A VPN is a virtual private network. It's a service that gives you safe and private access to the internet. By encrypting your connection, a VPN hides your IP address and online activity from spying eyes and keeps your data safe from cybercriminals. By keeping yourself invisible and hidden, you keep yourself untargetable, right? You got a heat-seeking missile? How's it supposed to lock on if there's no heat, right? We put you in a refrigerator. The heat-seeking missile can't hit you anymore. Sign up for NordVPN by going to nordvpn.com/Jeb. And most importantly, guys, you will also be helping to support our channel and helping to support the mission of financial sovereignty that we are pushing for here every single day. So make sure to sign up for NordVPN with the link in the description box down below. We really appreciate your support. Today, Bitcoin is up 4% over the last 24 hours. And we have been talking about how that has occurred with what Donald Trump is saying. And so we are down 1.61% in the last 7 days. We still have had about a $6,000 correction. We've rallied several $1,000s. But here's the deal. Bitcoin is a very, very, very news-driven market right now. When news comes out, Bitcoin moves because it's in a sideways trading range, and there's just not much technical that's pointing in one direction or the other. So it's responding very quickly to news, but it's still ping-ponging around inside of its actual market structure. If you look here on the daily chart, on the 1 hour chart, what you're going to see is it's stuck between two levels of support and two levels of resistance. Our two levels of resistance are up here. We've got the level at $72,000 and the level at $73,800. And then we've also got the level at $66,144 and the level down here around $64,360. Yesterday, we made a prediction that Bitcoin might go down to $64,360, but then, of course, we had this news come out this morning. And so what we're doing is we are potentially building an inverse head and shoulders pattern. You can see right here, there's an inverse head and shoulders right here that could be building, right? Just like this. Couple of, like, three birds, like, you know, you're in elementary school. Boom, drew some birds, right? It's an inverse head and shoulders pattern. The way this works is that you have a line that you draw right here, the price target, in between the shoulder line, in between the neckline, which is right here, and the head, which is right down here. And then what you do is you extrapolate from the breakout point. We would probably be anticipating the breakout to be happening sometime later this week, moving into early next week. The breakout on this would give us a price target of approximately $74,000. Now, if we zoom out and we look at this from another perspective, right? What we're going to see is that there's a possibility that everything that we've been doing the last several weeks is a right shoulder. And we've got our left shoulder here, a head here, and a right shoulder there. By the way, there was an inverse head and shoulders pattern in here. So this is actually something much more technical that we call a nested inverse head and shoulders pattern. It is an inverse head and shoulders pattern nested inside of another inverse head and shoulders pattern. Isn't that beautiful? We love technical analysis. It gives us so much information. It's so interesting. It's a hobby of mine. It's so cool. And so we've got the inverse head and shoulders pattern with the left shoulder there, head right there, right shoulder is forming over here. We've also got the nested head and shoulders pattern right there. And honestly, if you zoom in, you can take this too far, but there's even kind of like a little inverse head and shoulders pattern right here. There's like 3 inside of each other. So it's almost a perfect reversal. And by the way, the entire thing is one gigantic, you know, from Night at the Museum, Gigantor. This is one Gigantor bull flag that is playing out ever since we began this rally. We started this rally down here at $25,000, rallied, trading sideways for several months. That's what we did down here, right? We had a bull flag, traded sideways, then we broke bullish. We're seeing the same thing play out right now. And the breakout characteristic would look something like this. And as we talked about recently, the targets point up well above $100,000, anywhere between $118,000 and $170,000 for where Bitcoin may go next. And so what we're seeing right now is an absolutely beautiful pattern. Whether Bitcoin rallied today or not, it is an absolutely beautiful pattern because it gives us context that a huge breakout on Bitcoin may be coming soon. Here's the deal. It's not only what we're seeing on these time frames. If we look on the daily chart and on the weekly chart especially, we're not exactly in super bullish territory with our oscillators, but we are more so moving in the direction of having that bullish territory, right? We're kind of set up for it, if you will. The MACD, we'd have to drop very far for MACD to drop all the way back down to 0 on the weekly chart. We're kind of set up that if Bitcoin rallies above all-time high, we're just immediately going to have a break bullish. A bullish confirmation here, a bullish cross. And so that's going to be very powerful. The last time we saw a major bullish cross here on the weekly chart MACD was right there, right? Right here. And I'll show you where this lines up on the chart in a second. Last time we had a bearish MACD cross was right here. Let's go ahead and change the colors. Let's just make a really beautiful chart that's really easy to read. Got a red cross, not the save your life kind, but the bearish kind. We got a red cross right here. See? Then we got a blue cross. I'll go ahead and do blue. I'm colorblind, so I use blue instead of green because I can't tell the difference. Fun facts. So we had that blue cross right here, right? We'll take a look at what happened. Right, we saw the red cross take place on the on the MACD on the weekly chart several months after, several weeks after the top. You know, it took a minute. If you'll remember, the MACD, we actually want to read the histogram. The MACD line is actually designed to give us the histogram. So if we draw from the histogram here, we'll just draw the red lines. The first red line is when the histogram started converging bearish on itself. The first blue line is when the histogram started converging bullish on itself, right? So when the MACD started converging bearish was right here at the top, and then we got confirmation about a month later with the bearish cross, and that was a very bearish time. Just for context here, it's kind of hard to see because of the scale and everything. Here's the context. We hit $31,000. We dropped 20.5% down to $25,000, and we traded sideways for quite some time, right? And then what happened after that is we saw the bullish MACD cross come in. We saw the bullish the histogram switching bullish. That was pretty much week 1 of this uptrend that we now find ourselves in here, right there. That's when the histogram started converging bullish. We saw the bullish cross on the weekly chart, and then we went into a rally. Similarly over here, we started to see the MACD converge bearish here, cross bearish here. A lot of times those bearish crosses on the weekly chart are such lagging indicators because the market spends a lot more time rallying than it does correcting. So it's early enough on the bullish side, it's too late on the bearish side. But nevertheless, right now, we're seeing a little bit of convergence. Remember this? Remember how we saw some convergence right here? Just a little bit, not much, but just a little bit. Seeing a little bit of convergence right here. Somewhere right around here. Doesn't mean a bullish cross is coming soon, not necessarily. It depends on where Bitcoin's going to go. If Bitcoin does rally up to $72,000, $73,000, $74,000, $75,000, then that's where we're going to see a bullish cross, and that'll likely send Bitcoin on the next leg up. And we'll likely see Bitcoin rally all the way up towards $100,000. If not, then we'd be patient. Here's the deal, guys. Bitcoin in bull markets, and I'll show you a chart for this. Bitcoin in bull markets, typically, it will go through like 5 or 6 major impulses to the upside. So far, we've seen, about 2. Forgive the kind of just drawing on the chart here, but in the 2011 and 2012 and 2013 bull market, we saw a first impulse wave here that saw Bitcoin rally 250% in 56 days. Then here we saw about a second impulse wave. I go ahead and remove the drawings. You can kind of spot them yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? We had the second impulse wave right here. It was a rally of quite a large size, about 230% in 100 days. And again, Bitcoin's trading in the dollars down here, not even in the teens, just in the dollars, like $7, $8, $9, $10, right? Here we had the third wave, 2,500% movement, right? And then we had a fourth wave here, 1,600% movement. So it's about 4 waves of the bull market. The 2016-17 bull market is the perfect bull market to do technical analysis on, because here's the deal with the 2016-17 bull market. The market was old enough that we were building market structure that actually had some real volume behind it. We're not just trading like a penny stock like we were when Bitcoin was trading at $10, right? It's actually got some real volume behind it. There's real market characteristics here. On the other hand, it is a market that was not colored by geopolitical events. There was a presidential election, but that was going on right over here, right? Didn't really make a big difference. Nobody was talking about Bitcoin in the polls. That wasn't a political issue, so it didn't make a difference. Nothing was really happening here. This whole time in the background noise, the background radiation of the universe was basically just noise. There wasn't a huge geopolitical event going on. But Bitcoin was mature enough. So we had the two sides. There wasn't a black swan going on disrupting things. And the market was mature. On the other hand, the market was mature enough that it could actually build market structure. And what we saw was the most beautiful market that cryptocurrency has ever built, and it was the market that I got into the space in. I joined the cryptocurrency space right here. Right here. Bitcoin was trading at $2,900. I saw my first piece of content on Bitcoin on July 31st, 2017. Earlier in the year in 2017, I had heard about people using GPUs to mine Ethereum because I had this wild dream of saving up a few $100 and buying my own graphics card, right? I was so freaking broke. Couldn't do it. But here's the deal. I'd heard about it, and I got into it in July 31st, 2017. And at that time, there was one rally, a second rally, a third, a fourth, fifth, and sixth, right? That's what this looked like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, you can come in here and say, well, actually, Jeb, that right there, that's a third and a fourth rally. That's not the same rally. You could say that, and fine, I don't care. It's not that. Honestly, calling it 2 rallies instead of 1 makes it even more of a beautiful market because it means that there's 7 impulses. I don't really care how you draw it. The point is there's about 4 to 6 impulse waves. Now, in this bull market, you can only really discern 3. 1, 2, 3, and pretty much the entire bull market happened in one impulse wave, from $4,000 all the way up to $65,000. These others saw the market basically retrace right back to where it started. We dropped back basically right back to where we started, and we recovered basically right back to where we started. So the entire bull market in 2020 was almost just one movement. 400 days of pure bullishness. Hardly any corrective movements, 1,500% to the upside. That is not a market that we want to compare our current market to. Why? Because it was colored by the COVID-19 pandemic. If you don't remember, the entire freaking world shut down. A couple 100 million people got infected with a virus that they all thought was going to make them run out of toilet paper. Everyone had to leave the office and go home. And so what happened is everybody left home while they were getting stimulus checks, and they dumped it all into Bitcoin. Everybody was doing Instacart nowadays, right? And they just threw that extra side hustle money, because now we've got kind of a side hustle economy that was born during that time. Everybody threw their side hustle money that they were just starting to figure out how to earn, driving for Uber with their mask on, even when there's nobody in the car. And so they went and put the money into Bitcoin. And Bitcoin got really big. You had Elon Musk getting into the cryptocurrency space right around here. This is when, for a little while, Tesla accepted Bitcoin as payment. Right around here is when Michael Saylor got a bunch of Fortune 500 executives in a room and started teaching them about Bitcoin. This was kind of the mass contagion event, right? This was basically a super spreader event, to use the lingo of the day. This was somebody walking in to a movie theater and just coughing on everybody and infecting 100 people. Elon Musk and Michael Saylor infected everybody. All of a sudden, everyone knew what Bitcoin was. And so the whole market rallied all at once. Bitcoin just blew its top all at once, and there was nothing left. And so when Bitcoin tried to go into another rally, it had already hit an all-time high that it was not going to breach anytime soon with the fundamental underlying intrinsic value of the space. We rallied too quickly. What this market probably would have looked like, if not for the COVID-19 pandemic, would have been a rally like this, We were going into a next rally. We probably would have rallied up to $17,000 to $20,000, retrace, hit 20K, bounce again, rally up here, We probably would have done something like this. There probably would have been 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rallies, impulses, right? Whatever. Well, now you move on to where we are today, and Bitcoin is not acting like 2020. The industry right now looks a lot more like 2016 and 17, but significantly more developed. And so what we're seeing are the impulses coming back. A one impulse wave, a second impulse wave, a large one, albeit because of the ETFs getting approved. So we had a little bit of a drop here. You could theoretically consider this 2 different impulse waves with a small correction in the middle. But however, the next one is coming. Bitcoin just needs time to consolidate, just like it did in those other instances. In those other instances, when we were looking on the BLX chart, Bitcoin would trade sideways for over 6 months, or on the other hand, it would drop by 40%. That's how Bitcoin would consolidate. We dropped, in this case, 41% in a week, and then we traded sideways for 200 days. But we still had another impulse, and in that impulse, Bitcoin almost doubled. And then we would drop 40%, and we traded sideways for 6 months. And then in this next impulse, we rallied 126%, and we would drop, as you can see, 33%. In this next impulse, this is where I got into the space. I remember this. I was here for this. Not this, but the correction that came after this rally. We rallied 235%, and we corrected for 40 days, 40%, 1% a day on average. Right here, right around here, is where I got in, right? From that point in time, Bitcoin would rally 167% in a very short amount of time. At this point, I'm watching the market, and it's freaking flabbergasting me. I'm like, whoa, I'm trying to figure out what a candlestick is. Oh my gosh, what am I missing out on? Right? I'm sitting there, can't rub 2 nickels together, wishing I had $1 billion to invest. Bitcoin dropped 40% in 21 days. And then Bitcoin would go on to rally 600% in 90. The point is, Bitcoin would either drop 40% or it would trade sideways for 6 months. Sometimes it would do both. So when Bitcoin trades sideways for 3 months here and drops 20%, just realize that that's half the drop that we've experienced before, and that's half the time that we've experienced before. Give it some time. Is the rally over? No. Do we have any reason to think the bull market is over? We're about to have, potentially, we don't know, but maybe, our first super pro-Bitcoin president in history. We have an Ethereum ETF coming soon to a theater near you. We have all kinds of bullishness on the horizon. The altcoins have not even started moving yet, guys. Take a look at these altcoins. Look at them. Cardano's nowhere near its all-time high. Dogecoin, nowhere near its all-time high. XRP, nowhere near its all-time high. Solana, nowhere near its all-time high. Chainlink, not even close. Polkadot, you couldn't throw it far enough to get it in range of all-time high. Near Protocol, not near the all-time high. Just kidding. It's a little different with Near because Near's so much newer. But you get my point. I had to make the joke, even though it didn't actually make sense. Oh, no, actually, I'm right. I take that back. It's nowhere near its all-time high. We're going to rally. We're going to rally. It has a lot to do with old Donald Trumpicles. It also has a lot to do with old Gary Gensler getting the boot and Donald Trump saying, "You're fired," as soon as he gets into office to Gary Gensler. And if he doesn't, here's the deal. Gensler is probably going to end up getting screwed over anyway, even if Biden stays in power, because Biden is tired of losing this cryptocurrency battle to his arch nemesis, Donald Trump. Gary Gensler's days in the Securities and Exchange Commission are numbered, and he knows it, which is why he's starting to play ball and play nice on the playground nowadays. Right? Okay, cool. There's a rally coming, so please have patience. Donald Trump, I think, is very much responsible for this rally that we've seen in the last couple of hours, but of course, Bitcoin is its own cryptocurrency and it's rallying of its own accord for its own reasons, and I have every bit of confidence that Bitcoin will be rallying to well over $100,000 coming very soon. I also want to let you guys know briefly about one of the sponsors of our channel that helps to keep everything running here, and that is Vault by Uphold. If you go to the link in the description box down below and sign up for Vault, you're going to be not only helping to support the channel, you're also going to be getting access to an incredible piece of technology. When I first heard about this, I was blown away. I thought, man, that's a great idea. That is an incredible, incredible idea. This is something called assisted self-custody. The way this works is that you have 2 private keys that you store and you keep track of. So this is a cold wallet that only you have custody over. This is a true cold wallet. So keep that in mind, a true cold wallet. If, however, you lose a key, the way that the wallet is set up is that it is able to accept 2 of 3 keys. Uphold custodies one of the keys for you. So should you lose one of your keys, then the Uphold key can stand in the place of the key that you lost. Let's say you lost the first key. Boom, the Uphold key can stand in the place, and the Uphold key and the backup key, the 2 key can unlock the wallet. Let's say you lost the 2 key. The Uphold key can stand in the place of the 2 key, and the 1 key and the Uphold key can unlock the wallet. What this means is that you have the security of holding Bitcoin without having to worry about, you have the security of holding it in a cold storage solution that will work whether Uphold is here or not. But you have the security of knowing that should you lose a key, Uphold has the ability to give you some customer service, customer support. This is the first cold wallet that comes with customer support that I know of in the entire cryptocurrency space. And because of the way it's set up, you also have access to 24/7 instant trading on Uphold. So make sure to check them out. Link in the description box down below. Not only will you be securing your investments and mitigating risk, which is one of the most important things to generating wealth, is mitigating risk. You will also be helping to support the channel a great deal. So thank you very much to everyone who goes and checks them out. Watching mainstream media doesn't help. Yeah, you don't get much from mainstream media other than knowing what the masses are thinking, which is helpful. It's kind of helpful to watch the mainstream media sometimes because you're like, okay, this is what everybody's thinking about. The amount of people that sit around and watch Fox News and CNBC and CNN and Yahoo Finance and all these places whine and moan and complain about what they're doing on Capitol Hill, and they're not doing anything for themselves. They want to complain about the national debt while they're running all their groceries on credit cards. They want to complain about the national debt while they're buying their mink slippers with a firm. It is pathetic. So many people that I love, people that I could name right now that I'm not going to because I have respect for them. I'm not just going to call them out, but I'm thinking of some names right now in my head, and some of them might be watching this stream. And if you're one of these people, you ought to change, that sit around and they want to, I'm not going to use the word that I want to use because I'm a Christian and I like to keep my mouth clean, but the amount of people that want to sit around and whine and moan and complain about what's going on Capitol Hill, and they're not doing a dang thing for themselves, is absolutely asinine. Sitting around and waiting for everybody else to fix your problem is called being a toddler in a diaper. You're sitting in your own crap thinking, oh my gosh, my mother, my father, they're going to come clean me up. You're an adult. Clean up your own mess that you made. It is not Joe Biden's fault. It is not Donald Trump's fault. It is not Hillary Clinton's fault. It is not Barack Obama's fault. It is not Mitt Romney's fault. It is not Snoop Dogg's fault. It is not Jay-Z's fault that you're broke. If you live in the United States and you're over the age of, I don't know, like 20 or so, it's your fault more than likely that you're broke. It's because you bought a car that you couldn't afford. It's because you signed up for the stupid credit cards. It's because you decided to go and take out a bunch of student loans because you were misguided by your advisors and by your parents that didn't know any better. It is our fault. It is my fault. It is your fault if we're not exactly where we want to be financially, for the most part. Notwithstanding starting position and circumstances, those are the only two things that stop you from being successful financially, and the vast majority of you guys are not actually being held down by one or either of those variables. If you're not where you want to be financially, I will tell you right now that there is a reason for that, and it is not all Capitol Hill's fault. Is it some of Capitol Hill's fault? Yeah. Is that part of the problem? Yeah. Are we going to have a perfect government until Christ comes? No. So we should fight for change in power. We should fight for our government to be strong. We should go out and vote. We should vote for people that have the moral character that we want to see, which is very difficult. We should vote for people that believe the way that we do on the issues. We should try and change government. We live in a democratic representative republic, and I believe very firmly in our form of government. But we don't get to whine and complain about everybody else and, oh my gosh, they did this to me. Oh my gosh, the economy collapsed. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And it's 16 years ago. Grow up. I love you. I know people that are still saying that the reason they're broke is because of 2008. Friend, that was 16 years ago. It's getting knocked down in 2008. Yeah, that might have been the economy's fault. Still being down 16 years later when you're able-bodied, that's your fault. I love you enough to tell you that it's your fault when it's not all of the government's fault. It is some of the government's fault. For sure it is. Of course, we couldn't help that the government shut down the entire economy. We couldn't help that. There's things that we can't help. Some circumstances are real. There are really racist people out there. There are really sexist people out there. There are really bigoted people out there. I walk around with this cross around my neck. There are people that look at me and they give me dirty looks. I'm pretty sure somebody was giving me a dirty look at the gym yesterday for it. I was on a yacht with my wife for our anniversary trip a few weeks ago, and this guy's looking over at me, and he looked down at my cross, and he's just staring at me. He's just got this like mean look at me. He's sitting there with his date. right? And he's just staring at me. I just looked over. I'm like, hi. And so I looked at him, and I pretty quickly realized he was looking at me. He was ticked off because of this. I just looked down, like, I'm not breaking eye contact. I didn't say that, but I said it with my eyes. I'm like, so I just sat there and I just stared at him for about 10 seconds, just like I'm doing to you right now. Yeah. Not breaking eye contact. No. I firmly believe that this is right. I'm more than happy to talk to you about it, but you look mad. I'm not going to let you win this one. He just looked away, and he just kind of like, he was just kind of grumbling the whole rest of the time. I think it just ruined his day. I don't care. I love you enough to tell you that I believe in what I believe, and I know it's going to help you. And here's what I believe. I believe that you have the ability to have agency over your future. If you quit making it everybody else's fault, if you quit saying that everybody else is the reason that you are broke, out of shape, in debt, whatever it is, it's not everybody else's fault. I don't want you to sit here and beat yourself up either. I don't want you to sit here and hate yourself. I don't want you to say, oh, I just hate myself now because look at what I did to myself. No, don't do that. Love yourself. You know, in a healthy way. Don't be prideful, but love on yourself enough to say, listen, you screwed up, but we're going to do better next time, right? But here's the thing. I love you too much not to tell you that where you are today is, for the most part, a direct consequence of three things. Your starting position. We are lucky to be born in the 21st century. We're lucky to be born in the United States. I'm lucky to be born around people that taught me to be a Christian. I'm lucky for all of those things. And I realize just how freaking lucky I am. I also realize that there's circumstances. I was not born into a home that that was extremely, wealthy or anything. I was not born into a home where I learned a lot about money. I had to learn that from the Bible and from a lot of other people that are very wise with finances. My dad taught me a lot of foundational lessons with money, and I was very thankful for that. And that led me in this direction. So I don't want to take credit from him. I want to respect him in that. But circumstances and your starting position count. But within those two things, everything else in your life is kind of your fault, whether good or bad. Whether you win, it's your fault. Whether you lose, it's your fault. But it's your fault either way. So at least be at fault for winning. At least be at fault for being successful. At least be at fault for helping people. That's what I want to do here every day with the CryptoJeb YouTube channel. Let's take a look at the altcoins really quick. Over the last 7 days, we've had a pretty big correction on a lot of them. Binance is down 10% in the last 7 days. Solana down 7.5% in the last 7 days. XRP down 6% in the last 7 days. Dogecoin down 9% in the last 7 days. Sheeb down 10.4% in the last 7 days. Cardano down 4% in the last 7 days. Toncoin's up a little bit in the last week. Tron's up a little bit in the last week. Across the board, we're having pretty large corrective movements. A lot of cryptocurrency still down over 15% from our drops that we've seen this week. We've seen two major capitulations, one last Friday, one on about Monday. And so this is something that we're going to need to pay very close attention to, is the movement of the space. But here's the thing. As we talked about earlier today, this market is a market that is growing. This market is a market that is going to take some time to take off. And how do we succeed? How do we succeed financially? By being consistent, by saying, listen, I look myself in the mirror and I say, you're the problem or you're the reason we're here. I get to look back now over the last 10 or so years of my life and say, I am where I am today in large part because of choices that I made, whether good or bad. I get to look back and say, I have a wife that loves me. I have children that are awesome. I have a business that is enjoyable and successful. We are succeeding financially. We're looking into getting into real estate as early as potentially next year, buying our first properties in cash because we don't do debt anymore. We're looking at buying our first rental properties in cash, like cutting a check for them. I'm in the position that I'm in, and my family's in the position that it is in, whether good or bad, largely because of the decisions I've made. And I decided to take control over my life, and it's called financial sovereignty. I started really going down that route around the time that you guys saw things change on the channel about a year and a half ago. And I've had to learn a lot, but I'll tell you what, I have learned a lot. And we're growing a lot. And so I want to teach you guys how to do that. That's why we talk about financial sovereignty here on the channel. Let's read a little bit of chat. Bitcoin doesn't need Trump or Biden. No, it doesn't need Trump or Biden. But having it be a part of the political conversation would definitely be a good thing for Bitcoin. Rolando Lima, I'm sorry, my friend, said, tell it like it is. It's true. Daddy-O said, no term limits, start voting out the incumbents. Yes, if somebody ran on term limits for congressmen and women and a balanced budget amendment with a forced payback schedule in the constitutional amendment for all of the debt, I would vote for that person in a heartbeat, unless they were like just absolutely a reprehensible individual. If they ran on saying we're going to have those two things, I would vote for that individual so fast. So fast. If you ever see somebody come out with those two stances, and I think they have a chance of winning because I typically, they're probably going to get my vote. Not trusting this bounce just yet. I agree. I'm not trusting it either. We're definitely ranging sideways. We're definitely going to need to see some time pass to see what's going to happen here. So Trump's understanding of crypto is way off base, and people believe he will deliver on this. This shows how this show can be so entertaining sometimes. Yeah, here's the thing, Eric, is that I don't think Trump really does know much of what he's talking about with Bitcoin. I think, and that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier, I think that he knows a little bit about it, but it just, there's something about all Bitcoin mining should be in the United States that speaks more of populist rather than understand. And I'm not saying that populist is a bad thing, right? We live in a democratic country. That's kind of a good thing in a way. But I don't think Trump fully understands Bitcoin. I don't think if I brought Trump on here and I talked to him about Bitcoin that he would really be able to dig deep. I don't know. I don't think he knows what SHA-256 is. I don't think he knows what a hashing algorithm is. I think somebody probably said, oh, well, Bitcoin involves mining. He said, that all needs to be in America. America's best country on earth. Get that stuff over here in America. We'll send that sucker out to West Virginia and make some jobs. That's what he was saying on Truth Social, right? But that being said, Donald Trump does have the ability to appoint cabinet members. He does have the ability to appoint leaders in all levels of executive office. And so he does have the ability to find people that do understand about crypto. And his son does, Donald Trump Jr. does understand quite a lot about crypto. So he's got some familial ties there, and he has the ability to find people. So whether he understands crypto or not, him being pro-crypto is a big step in the right direction for modern politics. Trump is smart. This is how you get the independent vote. That's what I'm saying, AMS. He's being very smart. He understands that he's going to get that vote. And Elizabeth Warren and Biden and everybody, they left themselves wide open. They really did. They just went after crypto while it had like 50 million people in the United States supporting it. Coinbase knew this. They're saying, oh, well, we want regulation that's going to support our 49 million users or whatever in the United States. It's like, yeah, they understand that you can either get on board and embrace the new technology or get left to be freaking behind. So here's the thing. Here's the deal. When the horseless carriage, right, the automobile was being revolutionized by Henry Ford, you had two options. You could either keep selling horses because it's my way or the highway, or you could say, I'm gonna start a car company. One of those options went broke. One of those options led to the foundation of General Motors, right? You don't get a choice with the march of technology. Morality doesn't change. Technology changes very rapidly. Bitcoin is a technological answer to a moral problem. How do I be sovereign over my finances? It tugs on the heartstrings of anybody that's ever read the first chapter of Genesis and says, hey, I'm supposed to subdue creation. I have more control over my wealth with Bitcoin than with the dollar in a lot of ways. Not that we're going to forsake the dollar. It's still the global currency, but we're going to use Bitcoin because it's going to help me go in that direction. People realize that. So here's the thing. We've got to pay very close attention to what's going on here because we're going to see more rallies, and we've also got to choose to be financially sovereign. We've got to choose to be financially sovereign. Guys, I also want to let you know about Crypto.com. Guys, Crypto.com is the #1 place to sign up for cryptocurrency. To sign up for an exchange and get access to cryptocurrency. America's premier crypto trading platform has over 100 million users worldwide, and you've got so many things you can do here. First of all, of course, you can do your purchases. You can buy and sell your Bitcoin and your cryptocurrencies on recurring purchases, which is a big deal. But there's also a lot of other rewards that you get. If you come here, you can get up to $500 in rewards with the missions. Check out missions over here, right? With the welcome pack. Set of missions that can, the welcome pack is a set of missions that new users can complete in their first 90 days to receive $500 worth of rewards paid in CRO, Core AI, VVS, Fear, and MTD. These missions are designed to encourage them to unlock their trading potential and explore Crypto.com. So you can check that out. You can get up to $500 just from that. There's so many different ways to make money. Over here on the products, you can go to the rewards. There's a bunch of rewards that you can get access to in the loyalty program. You can earn up to 10% on stablecoins. One of the things that we're going to be doing, we're going to be saving up some money to buy our first rental property in cash over the next probably 24 to 36 months. I'm hoping to do it next year, but we'll see. We're going to save up a few $100,000, and I'm probably going to be keeping a good bit of it in stablecoins that are generating over 10% of yield while I'm saving up the cash because I don't do debt. I'm not buying it in debt. I'm not going to leverage the money like that. I'm not doing it. I'm going to buy it in cash. And while I'm holding on to it, I'm not just going to stick it in the dollar where it can inflate. I'm probably going to put it in a stablecoin in something like Crypto.com. getting up to 10% on stablecoins. It's incredible. You can enjoy an up to 0.05% rebate on every trade, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's a big deal. Helps you to, if you're trading things other than Bitcoin and ETH, you can make a lot of money like that. First ever trading rebates. Get up to 8% back in CRO when using the Crypto.com Visa card. Up to $200 bonus for every referral with no limits. And that's not even including the Crypto Earn program over here, where you can see up to 5% on your Bitcoin. And as a private member, up to 7%. So there's a bunch of different ways to make money in Crypto.com. Again, if you're just holding on to cash for something, you can keep it in Crypto.com. Generate yield up to 10% on your stablecoins. That's a big freaking deal. That's a lot of wealth, right? I'm looking at a 10% cash-on-cash return for the real estate we're going to be getting into, right? And that I can also get that in the stablecoin. You don't have to buy a $200,000 or $250,000 property to be able to do that kind of cash-on-cash return. You can do that in a stablecoin. So do it. It's great. I want to build a portfolio because I want the real estate to go up in value, and there's a lot of opportunities around us. But I'm going to be holding a lot of it in stablecoins, generating yield. Why not? So make sure to sign up for Crypto.com. Links in the description box down below. I'm going to read a little bit of chat, and then we're going to wrap it out. We got to go work on today's afternoon video. By the way, I want to give a shout out also to our afternoon videos. Guys, we've been doing those every single day. You guys have been loving them. The views have been starting to skyrocket. We are doing daily videos again, once a day, every single weekday. We used to do this for years. I did this for years, and it was very successful, and you guys have really been enjoying it. So make sure to check out some of our recent videos. We're uploading 5 days a week now. 5 days a week, we're having something that I call Daily Dose of Cryptocurrency as part of Climate of Crypto. And in these videos, we are going to be showing you exactly what's going on that day and over the next few days. This is the #1 video that you need to watch in cryptocurrency. This video that I'm putting out every single day. Everything you need to see every day, it's going to be in this video. If you can't make the stream, watch this video. They're going to be probably under 10 minutes pretty much every day because it's just a day of content. Some days they'll be 4 minutes. Some days they'll be 11 minutes. But generally, they're going to be 6 to 8 minutes, and they're going to teach you and show you everything that you need to see that day. So make sure to tune in. Today's video will be out at 2. So stay tuned for that. We come out at 2 p.m. Eastern time every single day. All right, like I said, we're going to read a little bit of chat, and then we're going to wrap it out. Oh, guys, one last thing. One last thing. I also want to let you guys know to sign up for Blowfin. Links in the description. We've got a couple of campaigns coming for Blowfin, and I want you to go ahead and sign up and get your accounts ready for Blowfin because some of these campaigns you're just going to get free money, right? So sign up for Blowfin. If you haven't already, sign up because there are some campaigns coming later on today, later on tomorrow, I think it is, that you're just going to be able to make money on Blowfin. It's another great place to earn. There's a lot of earn programs over everything over here, and I've got news that a coin's coming to Blowfin that you're going to be excited about. I don't know if I'm allowed to say what coin it is yet, but it's coming in the next couple of weeks. Please sign up for Blowfin. Something is about to come to Blowfin, and you're not going to want to miss it. So check them out. Link down below as well. Also helps to support the channel. Apologies for all the plugs, but I want to put all that in there. All right. Let's see. Any last final comments before we wrap it out? Mike said, if all goes well this cycle, instead of wasting that money on a Lambo, I'd buy a good-sized land in the Philippines, set up a food forest and an orphanage. Pfft, awesome. That is so cool. That's amazing. That is amazing. If you're in the US, you can use Blowfin. Just make sure you use a VPN or you get a restricted account. You sure? I'm logged in right now. Interesting. I don't think that's the case, but you can check. All right. Any final chat before we wrap it out? Want to make sure that you guys are here. Yeah. All right, I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it out, guys. I hope you've enjoyed today's stream. Really appreciate all of you for tuning in. Make sure to check the links down below. They help to support the channel and the mission of financial sovereignty here. We're going to build wealth so that we can give to the kingdom. I want to help you guys build wealth so you can give to the kingdom. We want to live and give like nobody else. So continue along the path of financial sovereignty. Be on the lookout for the Financial Sovereignty Academy. At this point, it will probably be coming after the baby is born just because we're having so many complications. We just found out yesterday that my wife may have another complication. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's kind of random because all of the things that would have caused the complication don't apply to her. So it's very, very hard. So hopefully the baby's not going to come 6 or 8 weeks early, but we're kind of just sitting on our hands for the next few weeks saying, is the baby going to come early? If you guys don't know, we're pregnant with our 3rd, which is an awesome blessing, but golly, pregnancy is very hard on my wife. So please be patient with us over the next, I'd say probably 4 to 5 months, for really the rest of this year with a newborn on the way. Obviously, that can be quite distracting. I use my brain here on stream, but I also do a lot of stuff with a baby at night. So when the baby's here and I'm getting no sleep, you might have to give me a few months to get caught up on my sleep because I don't do caffeine anymore. But stay tuned, and it's going to be successful. We got a lot of things coming that you're definitely going to want to see. D. Maxson said, this channel is by far the most educational. Life and crypto information is very insightful. Thanks for doing these streams. Thank you for tuning in. I would be sitting here talking to a camera if not for you guys on the other end watching. For Hoofty Fluffin said, how is Sarah and baby McAfee doing, Jeb? Well, the baby, as far as we know, is fine. The baby, as far as we know, is doing great. My wife, like I said, we just got some test results back yesterday, and we've got more complications going on, which is very hard, very, very difficult. So we don't really know what exactly is, why exactly that's happening. But we're gonna have to do some more testing. I'll keep you guys up to date. Everything should turn out okay, but yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna get into the details of what exactly it is, but it's unfortunate. Literally right after stream, I came off stream. My wife walked in. She's like, "Hey, I got these test results back." I was like, "Oh my goodness! I'm so sorry, sweetheart." So I'm gonna go check on her. Hopefully, we don't have any more negative test results while I was on stream. But yes. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy today's stream, like button, subscribe to the channel, sign up for something down below. Helps to support the channel. All those are affiliates and sponsors, of course. That's how we keep the lights on. How we keep this all going. Before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Have that on my mind. Matthew 6:33. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good